When the Pokemon Urshifu Rapid Strike style and Single Strike style first released in Generation 8 Sword and Shield of Pokemon, they were met with instant controversy due to their crazy ability called Unseen Fist. Unseen Fist is an ability that allows only contact moves to go through Protect and ignore it like it never even happened. This mattered especially in tiers such in formats such as VGC, where Protect is used on so many different Pokemon because of all the various mons that you can scout for and the items and moves you can scout for. And then you couple this with the fact that they both have guaranteed critical hit moves in the Single Strike's Wicked Blow and the Rapid Strike's Surging Strikes. These moves were incredible in the VGC metagame because of their ability to go through Protect and also ignore Intimidate, which is also a very strong ability in VGC. In fact, in the same generation that the Urshifu forms released in, there was also an item that came out called the Protective Pads. And this item is really interesting because it essentially allows their contact moves to not be affected by anything such as Iron Barb, such as Rocky Helmet. And this item is still used a lot in Pokemon today, especially in Generation 8 for things like Kartana that want to dodge those Ferrothorn Rocky Helmets for things like Melmetal from back in the day. In SVOU, it's kind of fallen off because there's no more Ferrothorn. People don't really have to respect something like Rocky Helmet, Iron Barbs, that kind of thing. But you sometimes do see it very rarely from maybe like a Meowscarada, something that's using triple axle, or something that has multiple contact moves with skill link, for example, like Tail Slap Cinccino, which I guess isn't really used, and the item combination is also not used. So how Protective Pads works is because it's labeled as a contact move, and Unseen Fist makes contact moves unaffected by Protect, then it works synergistically pretty well. So you could definitely attack into a Ferrothorn that clicks Protect, and you would both not be affected by their Iron Barbs, and you would be able to get through Protect through the Unseen Fist. However, this all changed in Scarlet and Violet Overused with the introduction of this item called the Punching Glove. So this Punching Glove is very interesting because it was originally meant, I assume, for Pokemon such as Annihilate to avoid Rocky Helmets, for things like Palafin to avoid residual damage Rocky Helmets, something like that. What Punching Glove does is it increases the power of punching moves only. So things like Focus Punch, things like Surging Strikes, things like Mach Punch, those would all be able to get a 10% increase in power. And also, if you look at the wording in fine print, it says prevent contact done with those moves. Prevents contact done is the extremely important facet of this, because if you look at the Unseen Fist ability, it says if this Pokemon uses a move that makes direct contact, it can attack the target even if the target protects itself. Basically, what Punching Glove does is because it prevents the move from being a contact move at all, it does not actually reap the benefits of Unseen Fist. And with this demonstration I'm about to show you, you're going to see that an Urshifu with Punching Glove is not able to benefit from its ability Unseen Fist compared to an Urshifu that uses Protective Pads instead. Alright, so here we have the test demonstration. We currently have an Avalugg that is loaded up with Protect, and we also have an Urshifu Single Strike that is loaded up with the Punching Glove. So we're going to click Wicked Blow as the Avalugg protects, and we're going to find out what happens. As you can see, Protect is able to block out the Wicked Blow, even though we have Unseen Fist as the ability. And now we're going to bring in the other Urshifu, and now we're going to click Surging Strikes with Protective Pads, not Punching Glove, and we're going to see what happens through Protect. So if you played any Gen 8 OU at all, you know that Urshifu is able to easily bypass Protect with Unseen Fist and Protective Pads. So let's talk. This is by far one of the most interesting Pokemon mechanics I've ever heard of. And I actually randomly discovered this based off the wording like years ago. Or I guess like when SV first came out, and I was like, oh my god, Urshifu in SVOU wouldn't actually be that good if it tried to use Punching Glove. Obviously, they both got banned and they both would actually be pretty broken probably, but it's still a very fascinating mechanic. That wording through Punching Glove, specifically removing itself from being a contact move, working completely out of hand with Unseen Fist, is so interesting. And I wonder if Game Freak actually purposefully kind of programmed this because they didn't want Urshifu to just completely benefit from Punching Glove and instead let Punching Glove go to something else that doesn't multi-hit, such as Rapid Strike or something like that. It's really, really just an obscure mechanic that really only would affect Urshifu in like doubles, but I think the double or not doubles, like VGC, I think the VGC metagame is just so far ahead in terms of the legendaries and the Ubers and the box topper Pokemon that Urshifu probably is just not really relevant at all. But it is a very interesting mechanic, and I hope that you guys learned something new out of this video because many people probably wouldn't know about this and would face an unpleasant surprise if they pulled up with Punching Glove Urshifu and they just got blocked by Protect in like a Wish Tech kind of situation versus like I call Fable, for example. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this little interesting random tidbit, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll resume our normal ladder content. Gets the elo, you know the drill, later. Thank you for watching. Make sure to take care, and I will see you soon. Peace.